We're back to Neil Haley's show. My guest today is Marc Hills. He's going to talk about the sound. Mark, how are you? And I know this is an exciting day for you, right?
Oh, it is. I'm doing well, Neil. Thank you for having me.
Exciting day. The film is today, right? Is released.
Yeah. Today's
So,
the release.
so it's you've been waiting for it, right?
Yeah. It's been a long time coming.
And you wait as an actor to finally have that day, right? And is this like a so real feeling? Kind of give me your thoughts as it's today's the release day.
Yeah, it's very surreal because you shoot the film and then it's very fresh on your mind because you just did it and it takes a lot of time and you the next thing you expect is sort of, oh well, now the film comes out, right? But there's, I mean, in this case there's 2 full years of post-production, just distribution, and so it is sort of a delayed gratification, but it's feels even better because you've been waiting for so long, you know?
You have that delayed gratification. It's a great point because you're waiting, it's coming, and because it's a as an actor, any project, you just can't wait for that release date. And then when it happens, then you're like, okay, game on. Now go out, get another job while you've been working
Right.
on it before that. But now it's like, okay, I'm promoting this. Can I remember this? Especially 2 years. Dale, tell me, once you learned about this project, what were your thoughts like going in? Like, do you have the ability to climb? Are you an athletic person?
Yeah, I've been climbing for about 10 years. And it's one of my greatest passions. And so it was a little overwhelming, honestly, at first to get the role because I have been so obsessed with climbing for so long that the opportunity to combine it with acting and filmmaking was like kind of a big undertaking for me almost. Because I was filled with like thoughts of how am I gonna do this in a way that brings justice to climbing and the character's also, interesting and not too much like myself just because I have climbed for so long and I'm a climber as well. So it was overwhelming at first, but obviously in the best way possible. Like I was just really excited at the opportunity.
So basically, excited about the opportunity as a climber. So you said you're filmmaking. So were you involved in the filmmaking process as well?
No, I just meant as an actor.
As an actor, okay.
Yeah.
But to find a project like that, especially you enjoy climbing, it's fun for you and you're an actor. Did your agent kind of hint you this is something might be the right thing? Is that how kind of you found out about the opportunity?
Yeah, it's a unicorn to find something as an actor that combines something that you're actually genuinely passionate about. It's sort of a dream come true. You never think it's going to happen. And it felt too good to be true at first, but it turns out that it was true. So,
Yeah, and that's the thing in acting, entrepreneurship, anything involving entertainment, you're going to have your highs and lows in life. And when you find something that just fits, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a perfect project. So you got paid to climb. That's probably one thing because there's a lot of investment in climbing, right? If you said you've been doing it for 10 years, tell me some of the places you've climbed.
my favorite place I've climbed is probably Fontainebleau in France. It's this like enormous forest with it's just paradise. It's a bouldering field basically that's huge. I've climbed in Kentucky, I've climbed in Utah, I've climbed in Nevada, I've climbed in Colorado. I've climbed over a lot of places in California. The Bay, Southern California, obviously, Joshua Tree, Black Mountain. Yeah, I've climbed a lot of places. So, yeah, like you said, to be able to jump into that world in the acting sense was just like the coolest opportunity I could imagine.
Let me ask you a question about who got you hooked into climbing. Because I see, I'm not a big fan of heights, even though I'm 6 foot
Right.
10. And I'm like, okay, but I enjoy the exploration of going on trails, going in ventures, a little bit of climbing, like when I've been in, was in Mexico, or I was in Costa Rica, or I was in, different places. Puerto Rico, it's not climbing, but it's kind of exploring, and you're not in like in certain places, but I never have climbed. But who kind of got you into this?
Well, So I've been hiking my whole life. My parents were really big on hiking and getting outside, and I would always see on these hikes, not always, but I would often see climbers going the other direction as I'm going out, and I would think, wow, that's like the next level, that level of adventure. And it's just a totally different way to interact with the mountains. And it was always attractive to me from a distance. But I had a teacher, a math teacher in high school who had climbed all over New Zealand. And he was just this like super badass big wall climber that had done a ton of crazy stuff. And he sort of made it tangible and told me about this gym in San Francisco where I'm from. And so I started climbing there and just instantly got hooked.
Okay. How much athleticism is needed in climbing, especially basic climbing for people who want to get started?
I mean, basic climbing, um, I think that any you can start climbing with like just even a moderate amount of athleticism. It's a very accessible sport. And I recommend that everybody try it at some point. It's really fun and fulfilling. But I would say that at the higher levels, it's pretty much a limit. Like there's no limit to it really. There's no such thing as having fingers in climbing. Finger strength is sort of like the cutting edge of the sport, and every year that barrier just keeps getting lifted. It's like, or the yeah, it just keeps getting raised. It's like, oh, there's some other kid who's like 17 who can hang from a 20 millimeter edge
Huh.
with like 200 pounds on his body. Okay, great. Now that's the new standard. It's like the 4 minute mile just keeps getting, or the 2 minute mile. I
Yeah,
don't know what.
yeah, no, okay.
Yeah.
So let's go to quickly the premise, your character, and the premise of the movie.
So my character is Sean, who is a internationally renowned free soloist, who's one of the greatest climbers in the world. And the premise of the film is that there is a notorious big wall climb, which in the climbing world, big walls are sort of the top of the mountain. It's like that's what everybody's after is these really cool big wall climbs that haven't been done before. It's called a first ascent. It's a very, very sought after title to be the first ascensionist of some really, really cool aesthetic climb. And so in the world of the film, there's this big wall that's been blocked off by an indigenous tribe for ominous reasons. It's sort of unclear why. And a team is put together as soon as the access opens up, and they encounter said ominous reasons during their climb.
Yeah. And adding horror with climbing. Now that are you a horror fan too?
Yeah, yeah, I love horror. Yeah.
Have you ever been in any other horror movies before?
I've been in some, I would say, thriller, murder mystery style films, not so much horror. I think this was my biggest foray into horror.
Okay. Movies out today in theaters. People can check it out. Just search The Sound. Appreciate it so much, Mark. Where can people follow you?
Instagram, Marc_Hills, spell the word underscore.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. You're
Thanks.
listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.